What's up, humans? Welcome to a new series that I'm starting called Small Talks. Basically, the plan is to take a question that someone has asked me or a topic that presses on my mind and address it with my own life experience and maybe a little bit of research. In no way should my advice replace that of a true professional in whatever I am talking about. However, I hope that what I say will maybe be able to open your mind or maybe help you in a way that you didn't expect. So the question that was on my mind today was, how do I cope with stressful situations or a rough spot in my life? And I personally believe that I have been through a lot of stressful situations. I've lived in a high stress environment for the majority of my life. You know, those little tests in high school or in middle school where you circle the little things that are stressors and you add up your total. Every single time I filled one of those out, even when I was trying to just circle the things that I thought were most important and the other things I didn't circle, I still ended up in the region of high stress. And I think that I've coped pretty well. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in the military has an extremely stressful time. I personally wouldn't say that I have an extremely stressful times. I just believe that in the military overall, you have it's an overall more stressful environment, which is why you have people with psychological conditions that come out of the military because of combat or some things that they see in training and the mindset that you have to get into to be able to put it bluntly, take somebody's life. It's a different mindset and it's a different way to approach things. Now, another thing is, growing up, my parents got into a divorce, and my mom is now happily remarried, and I love my stepdad. However, going through times with him and going through times with my dad was stressful going up as well. We also moved a lot. We moved from Florida to Oregon to Florida, and we moved around, and I moved to a lot of different schools. I went to somewhere around 10 to 15 schools throughout my life, and I plan on even going to more, going to college and everything like that. And so it was kind of difficult because you're constantly in a new environment. You constantly have to start from fresh. But we'll address that in a second. And then I am, as you can tell right here, I'm married. And I would say marriage is even more difficult when you don't get to spend a lot of the time that you would like with your loved one. We've been together for quite a long time. As a whole, we've been together for over 4 years now. And I feel like a good majority of that hasn't been quite exactly what it could have been and has been more stressful, primarily because of going back to military and being separated from my wife. I also have some medical issues that I won't get into just yet, but they cause me to just daily life is much harder than that of a truly healthy person who doesn't have these medical issues, dealing with stomach and the mind. So now that you see that I have been through some stressful times and I have come out on top, let's go ahead and address how it is that I've done that. So we'll break it down into some main things. So first off, something that I really recommend is to build a positive environment around you. And I'm talking about people primarily. So don't surround yourself with people that are constantly down, people that constantly view life as something that they hate. You really just have to build up those people, those friends that find the best things to do in life and that show you that they truly care about you and continue to build you up. Sometimes though it's really difficult to find those people. In those situations, you kind of have to find the best in people and focus primarily on that. So you may not be able to find someone who is always happy-go-lucky. However, if you find someone who is able to look at the bright side in some things and maybe not other things, you can actually use that to build them up, because you know that you've been through these situations, and so you know that they can make it through it, and you help them through their tough situations, and they can speak to you from experience and be like, hey, I've been through that too. It's okay. Like, my parents are divorced. Like, it's okay. Things will get better. If you kind of think about the bright side, if you help people and they help you build a positive relationship and a positive mindset, it's I honestly believe that it is one of the most important things that you would need in your life. Something else that you can do is that I would do with building this positive environment is to find a hobby. Something like some stuff that I like to do is just I like to work out. I don't always like to lift weights and everything. Sometimes I just like to go on a run. It really all depends on what you feel like doing. But it's something that has helped me to get out my anger, my sadness, just kind of get out of my head for a little bit. Or video games. So something that's really cool about this day and age is how immersive video games are. You can go and you can be in a completely different world from where you actually are. It can help you kind of disassociate from the rough times. Or something like find a show that you enjoy. Find a YouTube series or a channel that you really like to watch. Like I have these 3 channels that I watch that they really make me laugh and make me think. Well, at the end of the day, I go and I watch my YouTube videos and I laugh and I just kind of relax, and then I'm okay. Like, it doesn't matter what happened that day. I know that there is fun. Like, I can enjoy my life and it's okay. Although I've listed things of how to kind of the word that I'm looking for is somewhere around disassociate with your regular life and the monotony of your life, or the stressors of your life, or whatever it is that is causing you to have a rough time. You still have to sometimes come back to that. So it's great to kind of self-evaluate. Look within yourself and understand what it is that is going on. Like, look at your life and look at all the good parts of your life and look at the bad parts. And think about, why are these parts bad? Why do you consider them to be a poor part of your life? Now, does everybody consider this to be a poor part of your life? Okay, why do other people not consider this to be a poor part of your life? Okay, try to look at it from a different point of view. For example, let's say that you have a lot of work going on and you're constantly at work. You don't really get time to hang out with friends. You don't get time to spend a lot, like, at home a lot. You're just kind of at work a lot. Think about it in the way that you are setting yourself up for your future. You are working hard right now. However, you don't have to work hard forever. There is a point where you can take that and you can turn it around to the point where you have friends and family that are working a lot harder than you. However, you did this at, say, a younger age. So now you have set yourself up successfully for the future. And that's where a situation where you can take a negative and you can actually turn it into a positive outlook on your life. For me personally, I work a lot. I don't get paid more for more work. It's kind of for what I do right now. It's it's a kind of a salary system. However, I know that right now I am working hard to better myself for the future. I am working hard to develop my own self-discipline. I'm working hard to develop what I know about working logistical systems and everything like that. And I know that this is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And the fact that I know that it is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, I look at the rest of my life coming up, and I'm happy because it's okay. It's going to get better. And for that, I've turned this is really hard, this sucks, into it sucks now, but I can get through this. Assess and just let yourself relax and just kind of accept what it is that you're going through, and learn to look at it from a different viewpoint, to not look at it negatively. You will be surprised how many things in your life you have to be happy about instead of to be stressed out about. And some ways that'll help you do this is journaling. Like, you write out what you did that day. You write out how you felt that day. You write out anything that you feel like you want to write out. And it doesn't have to be structured. You could be jumping all over the place. You could have doodles in there. Just get it. Expressing it is a great way of self-assessing what is going on. And through meditation and just kind of taking the time of looking within yourself, you can find that you will come out a lot better than you started. Those are basically what I use in my day-to-day in order to get through the day, in order to get through high stressors, in order to kind of accept what it is that my life is and be willing to shape and mold it into the life that I want to have. And I did a little bit of research for this episode because I really do think that this is an important topic. And what I looked into was actually Northern Illinois University. They have specifically on their website, which I think is great for their students, they have something that addresses stressful environments. And they break it down into 6 steps. And the first step that they say is to stop and breathe. Acknowledge that it is a hard time, but tell yourself you can get through it. So just like I was saying with the self-assessing, you stop, you slow down, and you breathe. Acknowledge that what it is that you're going through is difficult. Step 2, pay attention to how you feel. Recognize your emotions, okay? So, are you angry? What are you angry about? Are you sad? Why are you sad? And it's okay to express those emotions outwardly, to be angry and yell and to cry and to just understand the emotions that you're going through. What it is that you're feeling, because if you bottle that up, it just turns into more anguish, and you kind of it's kind of this feeling where you feel like you're going to explode. And some people really do explode, but they explode emotionally, and they go and they make poor life decisions, poor risky decisions that they wouldn't have made if they took the time to slow down and accept what it is that they're feeling. And then you go into step 3. Talk to someone who is willing to listen. Again, going back to what I was saying about building a positive environment, talk to someone that's willing to listen. Don't go to Joe Schmo that's going to provide what you think might be the best advice. No, just talk to someone that's willing to listen. They don't have to give you any advice. None at all. Just talk to somebody that is willing to listen. I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but it's important. If you talk to somebody that is willing to listen, it gives you a sense of, this person accepts me. And because they are accepting you, and they are accepting what your problems are, and they are accepting what your stressors are, then you sort of learn to accept yourself. And then number 4 is keep up a daily routine. Build that pattern to kind of work, to make a step-by-step pattern that you can follow out every day, that you can go and do every day. Wake up, step 1. Step 2, brush your teeth. Step 3, step 2, get some breakfast. Pour yourself a bowl of cereal, pour some milk, sit down and eat breakfast. Step 3, brush your teeth and get ready. Step 4, and just build this routine that is easy for you to do, that you know, I just have to make it to this step. I just have to make it to this step. And you can just build up your day and just kind of make it through your day step by step. And you're not thinking about your day as a whole. You're not thinking about weeks in a whole. You're not thinking about your life as a whole. You're thinking about just one little piece. I just got to do this one little thing. And then once you finish that, it's okay. I did that one little thing. I'm proud of myself. I have completed something today. Time to do this next one little thing. And you just continue to do stuff. And you understand that it is that you are doing stuff. And you're not letting yourself kind of fall back. You are completing things. And it gives you this sense of pride and relief. And then it gets into step 5, and it's take the time to do that stuff. Give yourself plenty of time to complete these tasks. Don't rush yourself. It's okay. It's okay to slow down. You don't have to get there like that. You don't have to rush things. You don't have to rush recovery. You don't have to rush these stressful times. You can get through it. Just give yourself the time. And then it gets into step 6. And step 6 is extremely important as well, and it's stay healthy. That means get sleep. That means drink lots of water. That means eat whatever it is. If you are feeling down and you feel like something is going to make you happy, then go do that something. Don't be afraid to take care of yourself. Don't force yourself and limit yourself simply because you shouldn't feel like that is going to help. I think that pretty much wraps up our talk for today. If there's anything that you took from this, anything that you would like to comment down below, go ahead and tell me about it. Ask me questions for the future. And again, it's okay to kind of wrap everything up. Like, it's okay to be stressed out. It's okay to be going through those hard times. And the best thing that you can do is accept who you are and accept those times and know that it is something that you can get through. That you can get through. Alright. After this heavy topic, thanks humans for watching. And I hope to see you sometime soon. Thank you for joining me for Small Talks.